When we dial up the nutritional quality of your diet, we dial up your health span and your lifespan.
Dr. Joel Furman is a board-certified physician whose pioneering work in nutrition has been acclaimed as a medical breakthrough for weight loss, disease reversal, and prevention. Change your life with the food you eat. Please join us for Dr. Furman's Food as Medicine.
People across Ohio and in Athens County are casting their ballot early in the primary election. How the race for president is creeping closer. Plus, in a few months, you won't be able to get on a plane with your old driver's license. How Ohio is trying to make it easier for people to renew. And in sports, the Ohio football team's 2020 football schedule is announced. Newswatch starts right now.
Good evening and welcome to Newswatch, your source for news impacting southeastern Ohio. I'm Anna Azalian. Thanks for joining us. More than 100 people in Athens County have already cast their ballot in the primary election. The Ohio Elections Chief says nearly 150,000 absentee ballots have been requested throughout the state so far. Of those 150,000, over 18,000 ballots have been cast during early voting. Ohio's presidential primary election is just about 3 weeks away, with polls officially opening on March 17th. And in Kentucky, some races are already being decided. Voters cast their ballots in 2 special elections yesterday to fill vacant House seats. Republican Richard White defeated Democrat William Redwine in the 99th district, and Democrat Rachel Roberts defeated Republican Mary Jo Wedding in the 67th district. The seats became open after Andy Beshear hired 2 Democratic lawmakers to join his administration. And nationally, Democratic candidates for president are on the campaign trail in South Carolina today. The state will hold their primary election on Saturday. Candidates are also trying to get their messages out there before Super Tuesday next week, when the largest number of states will hold their primaries. This is important because Texas and California residents will vote Tuesday, 2 of the most populated states in the U.S. This all comes after the candidates took the stage in South Carolina for a debate last night. 7 candidates were there. More than 60% of the Democratic electorate in South Carolina is black, so they tailored their answers to appeal to African American voters. Candidates also used their time to attack frontrunner Bernie Sanders.
And I agree on a lot of things, but I think I would make a better president.
Bernie, in fact, hasn't passed much of anything.
Imagine spending the better part of 2020 with Bernie Sanders versus Donald Trump.
I'm hearing my name mentioned a little bit tonight.
Sanders is fighting back, calling out many of his rivals by name today on the campaign trail, including Joe Biden. Now let's head over to Alyssa for a first look at the weather here in the region.
Hi, I'm forecaster Alyssa Lanier from the Newswatch Weather Center. Right now in Athens, it is 48 degrees and it feels like 42 degrees. The humidity is 87% and the pressure is 29.74 inches. There is some rain in the area right now and the winds are from the west at 13 miles an hour. Across the region right now, it is 43 in Athens, 46 in Marietta, 48 in New Martinsville, 43 in Cambridge, 36 in New Lexington, 36 in Newark, 34 in Columbus, 37 in Chillicothe, 41 in Jackson, and 43 down in Ironton. And it is snowing and or raining across the region right now. There is this precip map and it shows this is moving into our area right now, and there you can see down in the south there the precip has moved. Looking in the next few days, it was gloomy today, and will there be a chance of snow in the next few days, and there will be a big weekend change.
So Alyssa, tonight, what can we expect?
We could expect the roads to get a little bit icy as the temperatures start to cool, since it has been rainy today. So be careful if you start to drive tonight.
Thanks, Alyssa. Now, Ohio is on the hook for more than $3 million related to complaints that the Inspector General's office received in 2019. In a report released today, the Inspector General says his office closed 58 cases last year, cases investigated for violating rules and policies. And those dealing with abuse of a position were the most common. Other issues included things like investigating management and possible criminal conduct. To read the full report and more on one of the investigations in our area, go to woub.org. Ohio gun owners may soon be able to use their weapons while they're drunk. The Ohio Supreme Court will decide if a state law which makes that illegal is constitutional. In 2018, Frederick Weber's wife called the Claremont County Sheriff to report he was drunk with a firearm. Weber spent time in jail and was sentenced to a year on probation. Weber's lawyers argue the law infringes on the Second Amendment, but Ohio Supreme Court Chief Justice Maureen O'Connor was more skeptical.
In the home, whether you're sober or not, whether you've got a gun that is loaded or not, there is no law that is broken.
That's correct. I mean, assuming the gun is lawful and the conduct is lawful.
Well, okay,
yeah.
but that's what you, so imagine the ramifications that kind of opinion would have.
A decision is expected from the Ohio Supreme Court in a few months. And also in Ohio, lawmakers are working on a bill that would ban transgender girls and women from playing on female sports teams. 2 Republicans are proposing the Save Women's Sports Act. Right now, people who are born male can join female-only school teams after they've been on hormone therapy for at least a year. A board member for the group Trans Ohio made a statement opposing the bill, while lawmakers who are writing the act argue it's unfair because, quote, biological males have strength and performance advantages. At least 4 other states are considering similar legislation. Beginning October 1st, you can't board a plane unless you have a, quote, real ID. And for most people in Ohio, that means a specialized driver's license. But so far, less than half of people renewing their licenses have submitted the necessary paperwork for the new ID. And now the state's considering a way of speeding up the process. One suggestion to do that is by submitting information online. WOUB reporter Vince D'Amico explains how that could affect privacy.
Real IDs or compliant licenses require residents to provide several personal documents for proof of their full legal name, date of birth, legal presence in the United States, along with 2 documents from different sources, such as a piece of mail or a bank statement, for proof of residency. Currently, you would have to take these documents to the BMV to get a real ID.
This whole process has been quite a pain in the ass.
Reed Dobo has a real ID, and he says he would welcome any changes that would make it easier to get a compliant driver's license. Although not required, the state strongly recommends residents get a real ID when renewing their driver's license. Governor Mike DeWine says he's worried that more Ohioans have yet to get their real IDs, and he suggests those who haven't will come to regret it. Lindsay Bohr, spokesperson for the Ohio BMV, said in an email, quote, "The BMV will continue to examine ways to make the process easier for Ohioans," end quote.
Although the BMV has launched an ad campaign to draw attention to real IDs, only about 48% have been issued this year. Athens County commissioners are talking more about how to fund the Bailey's Trail project. A few weeks ago, commissioners opposed providing annual funding, but now they approved a one-time $90,000 grant to go to the Outdoor Recreational Council of Appalachia. The Athens Messenger reports the money will be used to build 4 miles of trail, and another state grant will be used to complete an additional 6 miles. Tax season is approaching, and a new study shows that many Americans do not understand exactly how taxes work. 1 in 4 Americans don't know how taxes are determined, and about 85% don't know where their tax refunds come from. According to a survey by TopCashback.com, the survey says nearly 80% of people expect a tax refund this year, and most will use it to pay off debt or put it into savings. Officials are saying it's not about if the coronavirus will come to the U.S., but when. What officials say they're doing to make sure the country's prepared. Plus, the virus is affecting people right here in Athens County, how International Ohio University students feel about travel restrictions, and not being able to see their families. Those stories when Newswatch returns. Stay with us.
Sleep. Everybody does it. But why do we need it?
Sleep remains a mystery.
Now, Nova explores its secrets and power.
We find that the brain is just as active when we're asleep as when we're awake.
Optimizing learning.
Are you ready?
Yeah! Memory.
Beautiful.
And fighting disease.
You're trying to boost those brain waves.
The mysteries of sleep on Nova.
On expedition I'm with an expert team pushing deep into South America's pristine jungle. This is the middle of nowhere. To find a lost world never before seen by human eyes.
What do you think? We're completely on our own. It looks pretty intimidating. What's your rule? It's incredible. These places are absolute treasures, and we have to do everything we can to protect them. We came here looking for lost worlds. We found one.
Black colleges were redefining what it meant to be black in America.
Laws existed that prevented African Americans from learning how to read.
Who gonna control our education? Are we gonna let white folks control it or black people?
Despite the violence and intimidation, the black colleges survived.
Black people were in charge.
If you come here, you will find something you won't find anyplace else.
Tell them we are rising.
Vast, frozen, barren. This is no place to be a lone wolf. Here, prey are fierce and 5 times your size. But the biggest challenge of all, your competition. To succeed, you need family, a pack, where the bonds of love and loyalty are strong. Because here, strength in numbers is the only way to survive.
Multiple people are dead after a shooting in Milwaukee, Wisconsin this afternoon. The mayor of Milwaukee says the shooter was also killed. About a half hour ago, police said there is no longer an active threat, but that the scene is still active. The incident happened on the Molson Coors Brewing campus, where at least 600 people work. Nearby schools and businesses were put on lockdown. The coronavirus continues to spread internationally, and the CDC is warning Americans need to be prepared. Today, President Trump spent some of his day in briefings with top aides on how the spread of the virus could impact the U.S. and what the nation needs to do moving forward. Karen Kafa reports from Washington.
The coronavirus has now spread to every continent but Antarctica. Brazil's health minister says a man with the country's first case arrived from Italy, home to the largest outbreak outside of Asia and one that continues to grow. Here on Capitol Hill, Health and Human Services Secretary Alex Azar told House members the U.S. is on alert and working to prevent a potential spread.
The immediate risk to the American public remains low, but there is now community transmission in a number of countries, including outside of Asia, which is deeply concerning.
After President Trump's comments Tuesday that the coronavirus is under control in the U.S., Democrats are concerned he isn't taking the threat seriously.
I don't think the president knows what he's talking about, once again.
The Trump administration expects to allocate at least $2.5 billion in resources to fund the coronavirus response. Democrats and even some Republicans say it's not enough. As more cases are confirmed in more countries outside of China, where the coronavirus originated, experts say a global pandemic isn't far off.
We have countries that are starting to have community spread, which is essentially getting us closer and closer to what you would consider the definition of a pandemic.
The president says he will be joined by representatives from the CDC at a press conference at the White House this evening. In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
The Centers for Disease Control is also recommending travelers avoid going to China. That recommendation could mean some international students who attend Ohio University won't be able to travel back home to visit their families. WOUB reporter Brad Walker has more about the impact of the coronavirus here in Athens.
With fewer than 300 Chinese students on a campus of more than 20,000, the threat from coronavirus may not seem very high. But where even one infected person can spread the disease to thousands, the CDC's recommendation against travel to China seems to be prudent.
With spring break coming shortly, many students plan to travel home. But because of the virus, this could cause some students to stay in Athens.
The university frequently grants exceptions for students needing to remain on campus during that time. In the meantime, the university is recommending international students, particularly those who have traveled to China, get tested for the virus. The CDC also says wearing protective face masks can help prevent the spread of the virus, though the organization has stopped short of recommending that in the U.S. at this point. Yesterday, the CDC announced the likelihood that the virus will eventually spread here in the U.S. For now, there is hope that a vaccination will be developed. But the CDC says that could take a year to be rolled out worldwide.
In addition to problems on college campuses, officials say the spread of the virus could cause the 2020 Olympics to be canceled. The games will be held in Tokyo this summer. Organizers say countermeasures are in place and that preparations are going on as planned for now. If your dream is to go to space, now might be your chance. What the odds are to be chosen to be in the next class of NASA's astronauts. That story still ahead.
Go away. I'll talk about that in my full forecast, but first here's a look at stocks of local interest.
Can you all live the ultimate retirement? You can.
Acclaimed personal finance expert Susie Orman provides essential advice to make your retirement more successful and secure.
Every little action that you take can make a tremendous difference. It's never too soon to begin. Fear no more.
Susie Orman's Ultimate Retirement Guide.
Join us for Rise Up Songs of the Women's Movement that celebrates the 100th anniversary of the 19th Amendment. It features Aretha Franklin, Cyndi Lauper, Tina Turner, Annie Lennox, Melissa Etheridge, Joan Jett, Gloria Gaynor, Janice Ian, and others, and the songs that inspired and were inspired by the women who changed history.
When we dial up the nutritional quality of your diet, we dial up your health span and your lifespan.
Dr. Joel Furman is a board-certified physician whose pioneering work in nutrition has been acclaimed as a medical breakthrough for weight loss, disease reversal, and prevention. Change your life with the food you eat. Please join us for Dr. Furman's Food as Medicine.
Black colleges, we're redefining what it meant to be black in America.
Laws existed that prevented African Americans from learning how to read.
Who gonna control our education? Who we gonna let white folks control it or black people?
Despite the violence and intimidation, the black colleges survived.
Black people were in charge.
If you come here, you will find something you won't find anyplace else.
Tell them we are rising.
Hi, I'm forecaster Alyssa Lanier from the Newswatch Weather Center. Right now in Athens, it is 43 degrees and it is raining outside. Across the region, it is 43 in Athens, 45 in Ripley, 46 in Marietta, 48 in New Martinsville, 43 in Cambridge, all under cloudy skies, and it is snowing and or raining across the region right now. Tonight, hour by hour at 8 p.m. it will be 37 degrees, and there will be a rain-snow mixed chance of 20%, so if you're driving, be careful. At 10 p.m. it will cool to 34 degrees, and that chance of a rain-snow mix will turn into just snow, and there's a 50% chance of snow at 10 p.m. At midnight it will be 31 degrees, and there is still a 20% chance of snow, so not as bad, and there will be overcast skies tonight. Tonight in Athens, the low will be 36 degrees, and there will be a rain-snow mix again. It will be overcast, and the winds will be from the west-northwest at 10 to 15 miles an hour with gusts up to 25 miles an hour. So it will be a slightly windy evening tonight. Across the region, it will be 26 in Athens, 28 in Ripley, 26 in Marietta, 26 in New Martinsville, and it will be snowy across the region this evening. Looking at your bus stop forecast for tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. it will be 27 degrees, so definitely bundle up, send your kids to school in a jacket because it will be very chilly. At 10 a.m. it will warm slightly to 28 degrees, and there's a 10% chance of snow. There will be flurries off and on tomorrow morning. At noon it will be 30 degrees, and there will still be overcast skies tomorrow. The high tomorrow in Athens will be 33 degrees, and there's a chance of flurries afternoon and a chance of snow from 9 a.m. to noon. So there will be gusts up to 20 miles an hour, and the winds will be from the west at 5 to 10 miles an hour. Across the region, it will be 33 in Athens, 35 in Ripley, 33 in Marietta, and it will be overcast tomorrow. Looking at the upper air aloft, we are seeing this troughing pattern with this pretty strong jet streak. And this jet streak over here, this is where we are seeing the low pressure system moving through, and it will move towards the Pennsylvania and New York area, and it will become stronger by tomorrow, as you can see right here. And then it will start to occlude and dissipate in the New England area. Friday, this stationary front will start to pass through the area, and there is a chance of snow on Friday. Looking at the week ahead, on Thursday it will be 35 degrees and there is a 20% chance of snow. Friday there's a 30% chance of snow all day and it'll be 37 degrees. Saturday it will finally be sunny and it'll be 36 degrees on Saturday. We see some warming on Sunday. It will be 47 degrees and it will be sunny on Sunday as well.
So Alyssa, with this snow, rain mix tonight, what can we expect from that?
We can expect some slick conditions on the roads, and I don't think there will be any snow accumulation, so I don't think any local schools will see snow days tomorrow at all.
So people just need to be careful, watch out for any slippery road conditions.
Yep, exactly. Just be careful on the roads always.
Thanks, Alyssa. And if your dream growing up was to be an astronaut, now's your chance. NASA is looking for candidates for its training program. The journey for a new crop of NASA astronauts begins Monday. The manager of astronaut selection says there will be missions to the International Space Station and hopefully a trip back to the moon by 2024. But the odds of being selected are pretty low because they only need 20 trainees. One astronaut can attest to this.
My odds were only 100 to 1. Our last class was a class of 12. Selected from a pool of 18,000 applicants, so their odds are 1,000 to 1.
Since 1959, 350 people have been selected to train as astronauts. NASA says degrees in math, science, and engineering are required, and you have to have a master's degree.
Hi there, I'm Joseph Hennessy, and after the break, it's not football season, but the Ohio football schedule is announced, featuring a Power 5 team in Week 2. And the men's basketball team was hooping last night, thanks in large part to a freshman stepping up from deep. All that and more when we come back. But stay tuned to WOUB after the show. Here's a look at what's coming up on your local public television station. We'll be right back.
Can you all live the ultimate retirement? You can.
Acclaimed personal finance expert Susie Orman provides essential advice to make your retirement more successful and secure.
Every little action that you take can make a tremendous difference. It's never too soon to begin. Fear no more.
Susie Orman's Ultimate Retirement Guide.
Sleep. Everybody does it. But why do we need it?
Sleep remains a mystery.
Now, Nova explores its secrets and power.
We find that the brain is just as active when we're asleep as when we're awake.
Optimizing learning.
Are you ready? Yeah!
Memory.
Beautiful.
And fighting disease.
You're trying to boost those brain waves.
The mysteries of sleep on Nova.
Join me, Rick Steves, as we explore Germany, old and new. We'll go on a harbor tour in Hamburg, explore the treasure troves of the historic Green Vault in Dresden, journey through Nuremberg's secret underground tunnels, and visit the home of one of the most influential figures in European history, Martin Luther. You're in for some monumental travel fun in my latest travel special, Rick Steves' Great German Cities.
When we dial up the nutritional quality of your diet, we dial up your health span and your lifespan.
Dr. Joel Furman is a board-certified physician whose pioneering work in nutrition has been acclaimed as a medical breakthrough for weight loss, disease reversal, and prevention. Change your life with the food you eat. Please join us for Dr. Furman's Food as Medicine.
Welcome back. I'm Joseph Hennessy, and now it's time to talk some sports. The Ohio women's basketball team currently holds a 10-game winning streak against Bowling Green State University. Tonight, they tried to make it 11 straight. The last time these two faced off, the dominant duo went off. Junior guard CeCe Hooks dropped 25, and Erica Johnson added 22. Hooks was named MAC East Player of the Week yesterday after tying a Bobcat record with 41 points against Akron. Ohio is first in the MAC East and division at 10-4. BG is last at 1-3. The Bobcats will play in the Stroh Center right after our show ends at 7 p.m. The Bobcat fans have waited for the arrival of freshman forward Ben Roderick, and last night they got to witness an explosive performance from the smooth-scoring lefty freshman. Roderick started hot for the Bobbies, 3 for 3 from 3 before the first media timeout with 12 minutes left. Then he kept his foot on the gas. Roderick ended with a career-high 21 points, 18 of those coming from three-point land, as Ohio would go on to beat the Buffalo Bulls in the Convo 80-69. Roderick spoke on his night and his future after the game.
I just think it means that kind of hard work pays off, and I've been working a lot recently trying to get back to full health, and now I just got to build on this and learn and figure out what I did wrong and learn from those mistakes and just keep building.
Jason Preston contributed a double-double with 19 points and 10 boards. Ben Vanderplas also added 14, 8, and 5. The Bobcats play Kent State at home on Friday. It's not close to fall yet, but the Ohio football schedule has been released. In Week 1 on September 5th, the Bobcats will take on the North Carolina Central Eagles at Peden Stadium. Week 2 is another Eagle mascot. This one is from the ACC, though, Boston College. That will be a great road test for Ohio. Week 3, Marshall at home, then it's Texas State in Texas, followed by MAC play for the rest of the year. After the bye in Week 9, the Bobcats can be watched on ESPN for national coverage games at CMU, at Kent State. Then they will end the year with back-to-back home games against Buffalo and Akron. Back to hoops, but now in high school. We have 4 local teams still competing and trying to survive and advance. The Trimble Tomcats are playing in the Division IV Region 15 playoffs against the Eastern Eagles to see who will make it to the district semis. Gloucester Trimble is coming in as the 3 seed. Eastern is trying to play Cinderella as the 14 seed. That game is currently underway at Wellston High School. And after the game, the Federal Hocking Lancers as the 4 seed will play against Waterford. FedHock got the win last time these two played, 77-50. For the girls, the number 4 seed Vinton County Lady Vikings are going for the district championship tonight after the game against number 1 seed Circleville. The Lady Vikes are averaging 62 points per game this season, or this postseason, and are only giving up 43. Circleville is scoring 54 a game in the playoffs and giving up only 36. It's going to be a tough battle for sure, but head coach Rod Bentley has his girls in the right mindset to get the win. Hardwood Heroes will be at the game for more coverage. To follow along, you can go to the Hardwood Heroes Twitter account and see if your hometown team is getting the win or not. And let's hope that women team, they can keep it going as the regular season wraps up.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Thanks, Joseph. And Buffalo, New York needed a little bit of its own Hollywood magic. Filming is underway downtown for a movie, but the movie needed a winter scene, and there wasn't enough snow on hand. So the film crew spread a white tarp on the grass and covered it with snow brought in from another part of town. Director Guillermo del Toro found it ironic.
That's like bringing tacos to Mexico. I really didn't expect that.
Star Bradley Cooper, Rooney Mara, and Kate Blanchett, but we aren't expecting any snow accumulation here in Southeast Ohio. Let's head over to Alyssa for one last look at what the weather will be like.
Tomorrow in Athens, it will be 33 degrees and there's a chance of flurries afternoon. There will be gusts up to 20 miles an hour with winds from the west at 5 to 10 miles an hour. Across the region, it will be 33 in Athens, 35 in Ripley, 33 in Marietta, 32 in New Martinsville, 28 in Cambridge, 30 in New Lexington, 30 in Newark, 30 in Columbus, and it will be overcast skies tomorrow. Looking at the week ahead, on Thursday, it will be 35 degrees with a 20% chance of snow. Friday, it will be 37 degrees with a 30% chance of snow all day. Saturday, it will be sunny with and it will be 36 degrees on Saturday. Back to you, Anna.
Thanks, Alyssa. And that's all we have for you tonight on Newswatch. Be sure to stay tuned for PBS NewsHour up next, and you can always find the latest news at woub.org. Have a great night.
Vast, frozen, barren. This is no place to be a lone wolf. Here, prey are fierce and 5 times your size. But the biggest challenge of all, your competition. To succeed, you need family, a pack, where the bonds of love and loyalty are strong. Because here, strength in numbers is